Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. I want to start off by saying something that I think is a very interesting phenomena that goes on with what it is that I got going on out here. That's the concept of, I got a lot of baby chicks. These baby chicks turned into full-grown chickens, and they started off a specific color, and that color is gray. They call it gray, but it's blue to me. And they're like this blue-gray color, and it was a group of them, and I hatched out all their eggs, and all kinds of colors came from them, white ones and black ones. So like pure white ones, pure blue ones, a mixture of white and blue, a mixture of blue and black, a mixture of white and black. And there's the mixtures, but there's the pure colored ones, Oreo, and then there's the I'll get down, and there's the mixed ones. And there's just this interesting phenomena that goes on that I don't know what this is, but these chickens are, man, I'm telling you, it's just a fantastic study, a research study of just looking at them. But I look out the window at them and just seeing what they're doing and what they like to do. So they hang out together during the day and hang out at night. But the all white ones hang out with the all white ones, and they'll be somewhere doing what they're doing. And then an all white rooster is with them as well. The all black ones are hanging out with all black ones, and there's an all black rooster hanging out with them too. All gray ones or blue ones are hanging out with all the blue ones, and there's a blue rooster hanging with them. It's very interesting that these chickens just like naturally do such a thing. That you can look out in my backyard at pretty much any given time and just see these clusters. Especially the pure colored ones, the ones that have no copper, no black, they're all the one color. Where it's just, if it's black, it's all black. There'll be 10 of them just hanging out all by themselves. And there'll be 10 of the straight white ones just all by themselves. And then the mixed ones are all mixed out all around everywhere. But the ones that are the pure color, they're just by themselves, and then there's a rooster with them. That's a fascinating thing, because it's not like I don't see them as being like human beings like us, where they're like, I don't like you because of this color or that because of that color. I don't think they go through that thinking process. But they just like hanging out with each other because they look like each other. There's one thing that I do know that I've been verifying, that chickens definitely understand color. They know color really good. They can see the difference. You could train them to pick red, pick blue, pick black, pick white. They know color. And they're one of, I think, few animals in reality that really just they can know color. So when they see themselves as being all white, they're just like, we're all just gonna hang out together. It's just an interesting thing that I just see, and the older and older that they get, the more and more they do that. Like the all black ones, they all sleep together in a specific spot. There'll be 10 to 20 of them just all hanging out, all sleep together. The white ones all sleep together in another spot. Then the mixed ones are just mixed all around. They do random stuff. They're just everywhere. They have no, you don't put anything with that. But it's just something it's fascinating, because like we as human beings definitely do that same thing. And it's today, it's looked upon as being like a negative, but in reality, it just seems like that's just a natural way of life. And there shouldn't be a negative thinking or a negative style or a negative system about it. That it is what it is. That all the white chickens just like hanging with each other just because. Not because they're superior or better than another. All the black ones hang with each other just because. Not because they're superior. Because in reality, when I really pay closer attention to, like, say, the habits of what each one do, they each have different habits that they do. They each sleep in different type of places. They each eat their food a different type of way. It's so weird. It's so weird to be able to just sit and watch this stuff, and it just really gets me thinking. Really gets me thinking about us as human beings and what it is that we do out here, and the concept of we look at ourselves as black people this and white people this and Mexican people this, and Indian people this, and Asian people this, and Japanese people this, and Chinese people this, and we're looking at each other as if, like, I don't know, as if that's like someone is better than the other, or someone is more, someone is that, or someone has separated us to make us not like each other, as opposed to that's just what nature naturally does. That nature just naturally just keeps things that look alike together, and they get some space against each other so that they could just stay with each other and just keep doing with each other. Because I know out here that one of my next projects that I'm going to do is just keep breeding the white ones and the black ones and the gray ones, and see if I can get to the point that now every single egg that comes from that will be a black one or a white one. That just kind of shows to me like more about like us as humans at the same time. Because when we started, there was two people, and there was a one color, and then somehow we got all these colors out here. But the more and more that you mix when the whites stay with whites and the blacks stay with blacks and the blues stay with blues and the copper stay with coppers, the more that they do that, the more that they stop having other colors. They just start to stick and stay with that color. It's such an interesting thing. It just lets me know of more of like us as humans. Like, you got to come and see it. You got to just sit and watch it. You just got to study. You just got to pay attention to it. It's something that just, I think, opens your eyes up to the realization that, for one, we all the same and we all come from the same. And two, we may have some different habits of what we do, but I think that mainly comes down to one thing that I could say is, like, the black ones are more cool with hanging out in the sun more, where the white ones don't. And it's something that just is a natural thing of what we are. Not that anybody is better at something than anybody else. We just naturally do some stuff because it just fits. It's easier. It's more convenient. So someone may need to work in an office building and someone may need to work outside in the sun a little bit more. And it's just what we are. But it just lets me know that there definitely is a possibility, an opportunity that we all came from the same, and now we are all here from that same. That nothing else was like created to come in, nothing else, because there's I don't know what this is, but there's some religions out there that think that there's a specific color on this planet that just, like, some alien just put here all of a sudden. That just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. But it really lets me see the beauty of what God is, that God is everything, that God is every color, that God has created, and he already had that in the plans, in the works before it even started. And it's something I can even branch off even further is some of these chicks have what's called a frizzle feather, where the feathers, like, they don't lay down, but they, like, curl up. And it's a completely different thing. That there's one here and there that just comes out, a frizzled white one, or frizzled all black one, or frizzled all colored one. I've got one that is every single color on him. It's so cool. His neck is a different color. It's a very interesting little animal. And it's just that again just shows me more of, like, the uniqueness that we as human beings have, that we're not all the same. And two people together are not going to create that same. That there's something different that can come from that. It just lets me know the unlimitedness of what God's all about. That there was already a plan made, and that plan came out to be what it is that we are out here. And that plan came out to be that some people are going to, say, be about a little bit differently and do some different things, but that doesn't mean that they're better or worse in any sort of way. It just means that we're all out here doing what we're doing. And we're doing what is of ease access, because that's something that you pay attention to animals, you'll realize really fast. And something that a lot of people get so frustrated with your dogs over this concept, and I'm about to say right here. Animals go to the easiest, because we as humans do this, but animals 100% go to the easiest route. Whatever's going to be easiest to them, that's what they're going to do. So if like, for how my cows move, when my cows are going to the front field to go get their hay bale, they find the fastest route. There's an unlimited routes that they could take, but they find the fastest, shortest, easiest route. No big hills, no slanted hills, and they will stick at that same route over and over and over again. Everywhere where I put them, there's always a dirt trail that follows them, because they walk that same exact path over and over, and it just breaks it down to dirt, just kills all the grass. But they do everything to the easiest. They're going to take the shortest route. They're going to take the easiest food to get up front, and then they'll go to the more difficult stuff. That's what they do. And that's the exact same thing as us as human beings do. So that's why there's some chicks of a certain color that do certain things a certain way, because it's easier for them to just do that. Not because they're better or not because they're worse. It's just what's easy. And that's what I'm going to say is probably the number one thing that's frustrating about dogs today, because they're getting so in tune with us that they know, they're like pre-doing what it is that they already know we're about to do. And this is something that a lot of people know. I don't run into this with my dogs because I do something very different with food, and I've been doing a lot of experiments to figure out how to get them out of this. Everyone knows it's 5 o'clock, it's dinner. It's 8 o'clock, it's dinner. That dog knows what that clock is without knowing anything about no numbers and no times, because its ease of access is its system is kicking in. It knows it's time to eat, and they're pretty much on. They are on the minute every single time, every single day. So you feed your dog at 7 o'clock at night, it'll be 6:59, and your dog is already giving you that look like it's dinner time. But they don't know how to read the clocks. That's may confuse some people that think like, oh, they just know how to get their ease of access, and they already know what we're gonna do. They know that we open the door and we leave at this time, we do this at this time, we go over here at this time, and they're just gonna beat us to it, so then we get to it. And that's challenging sometimes. But for me, I just personally enjoy that because it makes my life easier. I don't have to like think about them as much. If you already know what I'm about to do, then make it happen so that we could just get it done and over with. But that doesn't work in everybody's lifestyle. My lifestyle, I love it. If I'm already gonna come back here to make this video, these dogs will already just jump fence and get back here and just start hanging out over here. It's just what they automatically do, and it's a blessing. So I don't have to like speak or even say anything. It's just like we're just on the move. But it's something that I've just noticed that you know, dogs, all these animals do. And we as humans definitely do that same thing of worrying about getting to that ease of access, that we just want to, hey man, you super dirty today, homie. But get to that ease of access so that they can get what they get faster, more convenient, and less stressful, and just simply. That's why when you, you're such a good boy, Oreo. That's why when you feed your dog some really good food, they really appreciate you. They have no means to go anywhere. That's why when you feed them every single day at the exact same time, they got no cares to go anywhere different, because you give them everything that they need, and they don't have to do any sort of work for it. They don't have to hunt for it. They don't have to go on the grind for it. They don't have to search for it. They don't have to do nothing for it. They just stand there and they look at you and they get it. They stand there, look at you. Where's my water? They stand there, look at you like, hey, you gonna take me outside? Cause I gotta go potty. They stand there, look at you like, you gonna give me some exercise? Cause we're just hanging around right now. You can get up, Johnny. You can go. You can get up. We're just hanging around. We just chilling, and it's for us to give all of that to them. And that's why, for one, a dog is the coolest animal that I just really have been working with the entire time of doing everything out here, because they want to do for you so badly. They want to do everything that you tell them to do. They want to go everywhere you tell them to go. They want to stay everywhere you tell them to stay. It's just a matter of making sure that we have the right communication to be able to give that to them. And then it's easy. And that communication, it's got to be a way that is easy for the dog. It can't be too complicated. And that's something that I just realized a lot of people today just overcomplicate some stuff. Just, you're doing too much. And you're struggling because you're doing too much. Stop complicating some things. But when I just look at all of this that's out here, it just really makes me see the absolute mass glory of what God is and what He's created and what He's done. Because there's some animals that are here for us. They're for us. They're definitely here to make sure that they can help us out in some sort of way. And it makes it an ease of access for us. That's something that I can say with some chicken, some goat, some sheep, some cows. It's ease of access for us to be able to have some food. And it's an ease of access for us that we have such a balance that it makes it easy for us to be able to eat. And then same thing with a lot of the veggies that we have. It's such an ease of access that we don't need this and need this and need this. You can just throw that stuff in the middle of a field and it'll just start growing. And it's such an amazing thing to be able to get what we need. And then that's us as human beings, that also through time that we've been here doing what we're doing, we're gonna go towards that easiest thing up front. So when we're looking for some bananas, we're gonna catch the ones where or an apple. I don't know how banana trees exactly are, but especially an apple tree, we're gonna go to the ones right there that I can grab and just get. And then we're gonna figure out how can I build something to be able to get up higher to be able to get those other ones. But we're gonna go to them bottom ones first, and we're gonna get those, and we're gonna do everything we can to just get that simple one up front. We're gonna find the closest water place so that we can go get our water, so that we can get some stuff done. And since we know that about ourselves, or I hope you should know that about yourself, that's where you should figure out how to be able to use that to your advantage, to be able to really exponentially upgrade your life. Stop going to the things that are just so dang on complicated for you up front, and go to something. Yeah, it's Chris right there. Go to something that is going to be able to be pretty simple for you, something that you're going to be able to have some good success at, something that you're going to be able to actually be able to follow through and get done, and not something that you got to I got to think of this whole plan all day, all night to be able to get into it, to be able to do it. And stop doing that. Get into what it is that is super easy for you. There's something out here that is super easy, and I'll guarantee and promise you this, that you can make an income, you can make a life off of it. Hey, Oreo, Johnny, Kahi, we're done. Y'all come back over here. Y'all in the wrong area. Y'all can stay in this area, that area. Get down. Johnny, sorry, we got a dog training moment. Get down. Y'all getting my Kahi all excited back there. Get down. I don't need him getting excited. He chill. He had a hard run this morning with me. He need to relax. And y'all need to relax right now. We about to run and get it. And I don't need you tired and, oh, I'm tired, I can't finish, I can't do it. Yeah, I be talking to my dog sometimes like that. But they super fascinating because they do what I need them to do. And they get done what I need them to get done. And it's something that I'm going to say about us as humans, that we should really be focusing majority of our time and our energy on that thing that is that easier path for you. And stop getting into those things and starting to see those things that are just so absolutely challenging. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for you to do that. It doesn't make sense. The way that the nature is, the way that this world is, there's no reason for you to have to be able to struggle so much just to be able to get by. There's no reason for you to have to struggle so much to be able to get what you need to get. There's no reason you got to struggle so much to figure out how to be able to feed yourself. It shouldn't be so hard. So hard to the point that it's just you got these math equations that are just unlimited for you to figure out how to be able to solve, and then you'll finally be able to get that pay raise. That's not what you should be a part of in any sort of way. That's something that is, I think, destroying majority of us today. It's what's making us get discouraged with stumbling and fumbling and getting into, I'm going to say this, and I just see it as what it is. If you don't have work yourself, you don't have income yourself, and you have to rely on somebody else to do it, that's considered slavery, because you are getting into a binding contract, and today we actually have contracts to take an income from somebody that's always not going to be enough. It's always not going to be the best for you. It's always going to take all your time away, and you're never going to have a choice to be able to do what it is that you want to do on a day-to-day basis. That you're forced in it. You're stuck in it, and there's that is. If I don't know if that's slavery, that is what that exactly is. And that is exactly what was going down in that Bible in those days when they're talking about stuff like that. I know we can talk about something completely different right that second, but I just got to put that out there. But you shouldn't have to work so hard to figure out how to be able to just make it by, because that's more than likely you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. It's like, trying to be a doctor on this planet. It takes like over a decade's worth of school. If you're struggling with that every single day, you're not going to be able to do that for the remainder of your life. That should be something that you just show up and it's easy. You just show up and I could do this. Just show up and you pretty much already know majority of all the information. It's just something inside of you that you already know. But if you're just sitting there fighting, I'm telling you, you're going to graduate and you're going to go into the workforce and you're going to quit in about 2 or 3 years, because you're just fighting every single day. You're fighting at something that you think that you want, but it's not actually for you. You're fighting at it, and there's no reason to be doing that. There's no reason to sit out here and try to battle so much and thinking that that's what's going to make your happiness. And that's something that just goes down with pretty much any and everything on this planet. With getting a certain vehicle. Stop fighting so hard to get a certain one, knowing that you can't afford it, knowing that you can't keep up with it, knowing that you can't maintain it, knowing that you can't even keep up with cleaning it all the time. And you're fighting so much to be able to get it, and it's just destroying you. As opposed to getting one that's just easy. It's just simple. It always starts, it always runs, it gets you where you need to get, and you just get it done. That's just, it's something super fascinating about all these concepts out here of making sure that we're just not trying to fight so hard and just get it done, and realize that there is an unlimited out here, an unlimited. And you don't have to this and you don't have to that you could do what you do. And that's something that is just fascinating to me, of making sure that you're getting your choices to figure out what it is that's going to work for you. You're getting your different estimates in different places to figure out what's going to be able to work for you, what's working out for you, what's going to be able to be best for you. You go into each religion even to figure out which one's going to be best for you. Because what's fascinating about the Bible? Something super fascinating about the Bible that I think is an absolutely interesting thing. Because there's a lot of stuff out here with a lot of places and a lot of different organizations that some of them use the Bible, but they got their side Bible that they use, or I don't want to say Bible, but side information that they actually go off of mainly. But a straight up Bible believing place, they're never going to say to you, don't this and don't that. Don't pay attention to another religion. Don't go over there. Don't this. Because they know that if you go somewhere else, that you're more likely going to come on back, because you're not going to find what it is that you're looking for. So that's for me to just straight up say it like that. Go and search and find and figure it out. Because there's one thing that I do know that is just probably the most powerful thing about what it is that I have a very, very good understanding with on this planet. That Jesus is so powerful, and God is so powerful. And when you confess the name of Jesus, all you got to do is just one time in your life, and the Holy Spirit will start to get inside of you, and it's stuck. You stuck. You could try to reject it. You could try to say, I don't want to be a part of that. But at that moment, you stuck. You in it. And that's something that is fascinating, because you can go all these other places, even without that. And you can go all these places, but yet you still come back to one place. It's something that I just watch people do over and over again. You do all this, and it's just like you're fighting so hard to go to do something else to try to make it work. And it just doesn't work, because it's not natural. It's just not. It's not simple. It's not peaceful. It's not relaxing. It's so complicated. A lot of everything else out here with every single religion, I mean, even going down to some witchy stuff and the star stuff and all this stuff, it's so complicated to do all that. It is. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to study this, you got to pay attention to this, you got to see this, you got to bow like this, you got to pray like this, you got to do all this stuff. But then you come to Jesus, and Jesus is like, what you doing all that stuff for? Why are you overcomplicating your life? Like, why are you stressing your own self out? Why don't you just live? Just be natural, be open, be free. Why you gotta do this and have this sacrifice and this seance and this thing and this thing and this thing? Like, just come to me. Because it's interesting on the whole concept of Jesus that came to take all the sacrifices that we used to have to do away. And one thing about that I do know is very interesting is to really separate God from everything else. To separate it, to have a huge difference here going on. To really let you know exactly who God is. Because at first, some people were probably very, very confused because they were like, we're sitting here sacrificing, those other people do that same thing. And these other people, we're doing, I mean, the technical term is kids with baby baby goats and baby sheep. They're called, I think it's just goats. They're kids. And there's people out here that are sacrificing kids. So if you hear a story about somebody sacrificing kids, you're like, are they sacrificing kids? Kids? And it's something that just got, get down. It's something that is just very interesting because if you hear that and you're not really quite sure, you're going to think that, hey, they actually want you to do your firstborn kid, not your child, not your children, because that's a whole different thing. A child is what a human being child is. That's a baby. But a kid is a goat. That's a farm animal. But people are sacrificing kids. And you can get that confused in your brain with hearing something like that. And that's something that is super fascinating to me on really just thinking about the whole concept of Jesus that came to just squashed all that. So now there's no more confusion. He's no longer telling you to go out there and sacrifice no kids. He's no longer telling you to go out there and sacrifice no bulls and no calves. No, you don't really talk about heifers too much, but it's maybe a little bull calves. And no longer having to do any of that because that can be too much. It's too much. It's just too harsh. And to make the book, the Bible to be timeless, knowing that there's going to be a day and a time of today to be able to make the book in the Johnny, get down, to be able to make the book relevant at all times. So that's exactly how it is today, that to be relevant today, to make sure that we understand who the actual God is. Because there's a lot of things today, outside of the Bible today, that they are all about sacrifice. They still sacrifice like crazy today. It may not be animals, but it could be just even a simple incense. That you're out there spraying incense and sacrificing this and cutting up this and putting this together and burning up this, and you're doing a lot of extra. And that's where there's a huge separation of realizing who God truly is. God is the answer to getting you to that simpler way, the way that every animal and everything out here works. We end up in that same default. Get to the simplest way to be able to have the success that you're looking for in your life. Stop thinking that you got to this and this and just go all wild and go all crazy. And with that, I just want to say thank you for a very interesting day today. And this rain, has been incredible. Like, I don't know what y'all think about some rain, but I love going for a run in the rain. And this morning I got to go for a real good run in the rain. Oreo, get down, man. Get down. Because I let you do something one time, don't mean that you can always keep doing it, homie. I said one time. He thinks he could be ahead of me. It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. I get frustrated with it sometimes, but it's a cool thing. Because it makes my life much, much easier. But I'm just so thankful to be able to for one, be able to be out here and to keep on doing what I'm doing. And just keep on experiencing what I experience. And just one, it's something strange, but I just really have come to enjoy all the different smells that I have in my life. To just really just see the differences and just the environment based on what it smells like and what things are. It's an absolute blessing to be able to keep on doing this. And I wish that I can be able to convince someone, not only to understand who Jesus is, but to understand that there's more to this land than trying to be a person that works on computers or just works on things outside of just understanding the realness of life out here, of trees and rocks and just the grasses and the gravel and the dirt and all of these animals, and just get your hands in on a little bit of it, because it's super fascinating, and it really just teaches you a lot of life lessons. It's just I don't know what it is. But it really just, it humbles you in a way. But it teaches you quite a bit about how to be able to take care of something that is of what God has created. That a lot of us are only, and some folks don't even have a dog around, but it's cool to see a lot of people have that around, at least, that you're able to see something in that animal that's just fascinating each day. You're able to see something that's different. When we were around humans all the time, we just kind of, we understand that. And something that's strange about us as humans is we can hide and manipulate what we're about. Where animals can't quite do that. They who they are. They happy. They sad. They irritated. You just see it. They don't like try to act like something when they're around you. They just show you what they are, and that's a very interesting thing to be able to be around. That's why I really like chicken and cows and all this stuff, because they're showing you who they are. They're not hiding. And there's something that I could just say is interesting about that, because that to me just like gets me closer to understand what God's all about. He's not trying to hide himself. He's just trying to show himself. He's showing himself in everything that's out here. It's just absolutely fantastic. Thank you.